Assalamu alaikum. My name is Salim Siddiqui, and thanks for watching this series on the hotconflict.com website. We said we were talking about the great Eid, Eid al-Akbar or Eid al-Adha, the great Muslim festival where Muslims all over the world are gathered right now with their families together in all the major cities to celebrate and praise the Lord Most High and bow their head, all facing towards Mecca, the holy house in the Arabian Peninsula that Abraham and his son Ishmael built to worship the one true Lord. And we're continuing the story in a way that you have never heard before in an English language. The truth of the story is being revealed to you. And so, of course, I've been making a lot of disclaimers and caveats about myself and my personal story, and the fact that the story is going to get even more strange. We've already talked about a lot of strange and interesting things. Of course, everything has not been told today, and already this has been so burdensome on you, the listening audience, not me, the teller, but on you, the listening audience, because I know the story has been quite long, but I pray to the Lord Most High that you're still listening, and if you are, there is a reason, because we said that we must maintain the fundamentals of the story, and the fundamental of the story is La ilaha illallah. In Arabic, meaning that there's only one God. We said that that is the fundamental of the story from the beginning of the creation till now. That God created angels and jinns, and we've been through the descriptions of them. And God created Adam and told Adam of the prophets to come with books bearing the word. And that we were breathed of the soul of life. What a beautiful thing. And that we would live and we would die and we would be raised up and judged, and that there will be heaven and hell and eternity for the souls as a punishment and reward for those who believed in the Lord Most High. And we said that the Lord Most High, or Allah, the description of that word, Allah, is just a reference to the Lord Most High. And when we say the Lord Most High in Islam, we mean the one that is the creator of all things, all of the universe. And since Allah is the creator of everything in the universe, me, you, and every one and everything and all that lives, we continue to tell the story that Abraham challenged the earth by saying, my God is the one who gives life and takes life. And we talked about alien cloning and human cloning out of the very earth. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, go back and listen to the story, because it has been one weird, wild tale. And so we said that this story that you are being told is what? Is actually the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God, for the first time in the English language that has ever been revealed. And I'm going to say a stranger claim that I am saying that for the first time the truth of the light of the final messenger Muhammad, even though there has been books and parts and different things all over the place, that this is the first time on the face of the earth that someone has come to tell you the message the way I'm telling it to you. And once you understand the rest of the story, you'll know why every claim that I have made is true, and it will all be made clear to you by the proof of the story itself and the ability for you to check and reference everything from any open source, because we said the story of truth is miraculous in that nature, because as we went through the fundamentals of faith, we must always never forget the last fundamental, and that is that the Lord Most High, He is actually the creator of everything that is in the universe. And so if things happen, they all happen for a reason, and even the Lord Most High tells us that He is Qadir. He is the one who is planning and knowing and seeing all that is, and He is the one who has knowledge of everything. And we here are just simple, humble servants of the Lord. And so I said as a caveat, there is nothing special in me, just that I am able to tell the story, and the reason that is known will be made clear in just a little bit. But we did get to a point where we were talking about the war. We said if we're going to talk about the war, that mankind is at war, and that every son of Adam has been teaching you that mankind is at war. And what is the true war? The true war is between light and dark. That those who believe in the light and follow the light are always against those who are following any falsehood or misconception or misdirection. And as a caveat, I must say, there are many who call themselves Muslims. As we said, names and titles don't matter, but there are many who call themselves Muslims who are totally misguided. That is always the case, and the truth of the light can never be denied. But as must be known that forever, God said, if we're sending a final prophet, he is going to have the word of the Lord. It will be protected for all time. There is going to be a final messenger. He should be known and identifiable for all time. We went through some of the stranger concepts that God allowed for the Muslims from now on, that all of the earth is holy for you to pray in. Anywhere that you go, you can turn your head towards the holy house and pray towards it, and it is pure for you. There are some strange signs in this story if you're really listening and looking for the truth. And as I said, everything will be told to you of why your very own soul will accept the truth of this story if you dare to continue. And we said the war is very clear, that all of the sons of Adam must understand these fundamentals, and because the war is between light versus darkness, that we, as sons of Adam, are all born free, slave to no one. And it is always the side of misguidance and deception that has convinced us to enslave each other and use symbols and signs and other methods to disrespect God, when all of the sons of Adam bow down to no one but the Lord and humble themselves before no one but the Lord. And we said that in this part of the story, here in this place called America, we get a part in the tale where the original people who were searching to found this country were looking for the light and wanted to establish life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, inalienable rights endued by the Creator. A beautiful and noble thing. But we ended the story by saying that we got to a point where if you understand the whole tale, a major flaw occurred in this country that we love called America. We decided to do what the prophet taught us should never be done. Only the aliens, only the other races, only the other Jinns have convinced us to try and enslave ourselves. And as we've said, if you've been listening to some of the stranger parts of this story, they have also been enslaving us and abducting us and kidnapping us. And the prophet has told the people who follow the truth of the light the reality of this story that I'm first time revealing to you today. But let's focus on the United States of America. And so we see that we're in a moment where great trouble and turmoil is happening. The sons of Adam agreed, I will say, and of course we can't get into all the details. Of course, there were people on this land before even the white settlers, my white skin, came here. And of course there's always problems and all kinds of things, and we won't go into all the myths and parts of the weird tales of the Native American Indians, because that's a whole nother chapter. Please forgive me, all my Native American Indian brothers, but we're trying to rush the story through and get to the end. And already it's been too long for the truth of the light to be told at one time. But the story does get more amazing in that we see that the problem continues to occur in this country where slavery continues to mar our growth. And it has nothing to do with a political issue. You can see that in this story, if we understand our position on the place in this universe, because we said the story that I'm telling you is not just about one race versus another race. It's not about one religion versus another religion. It's not about one country versus another country. It's not even about one planet versus another planet. It is a story that is greater and grander. It's an intergalactic struggle of epic proportions. The tale I'm telling you is more grand than anything that's ever been heard in the English language. No one can dare make such bold claims as I'm making unless they're speaking the word of the Lord. Because only the word of the Lord is grander than all of this. And as I've continued to tell the tale, I've always promised that none of it is from myself. That is just the freakiest part. And before I tell you some great news, African American brothers and sisters, I'm going to tell you something so strange. That right now, as I'm telling you this tale, as the Lord Most High is my witness, as Adam taught us we never lie about the Lord, I didn't understand any of what I'm explaining to you today last week. I didn't understand it. Nothing of what I'm explaining to you right now at this moment did I comprehend last week. But let's continue with this story. We said that the one thing you can't have is enslaving other of the sons of Adam. And here in America we have known, and it's obvious to us and anybody who listens to the tale, that this part of our history as a country, as a people, has made our growth into a better nation difficult. And of the many problems we have, and we have many problems as a nation, and I said we're not going to get into all the politics, and I'm calling this my land and my people of my mother tongue, the place that without my choice the Lord Most High has put me. As I said, right? If we believe in the fundamentals that all of this is by the plan of the Lord, it's not my choice. It's not my choice to be here and even tell you the story. I'm telling the story in all humility because it wasn't even my choice to tell it. And if you understand that, you might be getting really, really deep with me. So, I said, a lot of Muslims are sitting here. We're sitting here in this place called America, and we are in a messed up situation, especially for a person like me who calls himself Muslim, to be in a land where even to say you are a Muslim is like this. Well, we said we were going to continue to talk about slavery. Right? That America made the mistake of slavery. And since I said I'm revealing to you the story of the truth of the light in one clean swoop, then I should be able to address slavery and all the issues of African Americans and racism and that whole issue really quickly, right? Because I said the story that I'm telling you is of intergalactic proportions, yet every detail must fit and work properly. To make this really quick, to understand the African American people, oh, African American brothers and sisters, listen to this white boy. Listen to this white boy. I'm saying I'm a white boy. My mother is white and I speak the language of English. But my father is brown, and so give me the benefit of the doubt. Because I'm telling you the stories about the whole human race. And anybody who's going to tell the whole tale, if all the African American brothers and sisters are sitting out there going, why doesn't he tell the truth? Why doesn't he tell the truth that African American people are the greatest? That black people rule? So all you black, dark-skinned niggers, let me tell you, by the rudeness of that very word, nigger, in our society, that we as people are taught to understand the word, that the term nigger has been so abused and misunderstood. And perhaps I should show you that, since we're talking about it in a strange way, that maybe I should be saying niggas. But I don't say those kinds of things. My mother's British. She raised me better than that. So as I say black or African American, I don't have a problem with black because I understand the truth of the light. But we say we must be able to explain racism and the whole issue quickly. And so let's just explain the situation. I tell you, brothers and sisters who are African Americans, listen to the story of the light, for you will know. I mentioned just briefly Malcolm X and Hajj Malik Shabazz. If you didn't listen to that story, go back to the section where I talk about the Hajj and the pilgrimage that he made and how that brother, Al-Hajj Malik Shabazz, went to go gain the light during the rituals that I have shared openly with you, and came back a changed man. So much so that he changed his name and said, unlike Alex Haley's roots, unlike the tale of our ancestors that we have been told, unlike the fact that I don't know who I I am Malcolm X, the X Factor. I'm going to call myself by the name Al-Hajj Malik al-Shabazz. Well, I didn't give you the whole story then, so I'm going to give you the quick, beautiful part of it now. Black people who are called niggers. Well, nigger is originally an English word that comes from black, right? I mean, so let's just cut down the thing. It's been used as a derogatory term by white people, but it means one and only one thing. You're black, you're black, you're black, you're black. There's no use in fighting it. Admit it, it's the will of the Lord. Allah, the Lord Most High, chose that your skin be dark. So if I'm telling you the story of the truth, then something must be amazing in the story. Every part must fit and work perfectly. Light and darkness, a perfect balance in every part of the tale. And so as many people ignorantly, who might have my shade of skin, think black people are less than any other of the sons of Adam, they have obviously been misguided. Because if you've listened to the tale, then you know that being black is no worse than a white person. All of the sons of Adam are equal. All of us are free. No one has the right to enslave another person. And so if you heard the tale, then you know that is the truth. And so anybody should not understand racism anymore. And it should automatically be taken away if you understand the truth of the whole story. And if you've understood what I'm telling you, you see what was the flaw in our founding fathers, that they should not have enslaved and kidnapped people, abducted them, free men, and brought them here and enslaved them, and kept their children enslaved, and their children enslaved, and all of Adam's offspring. I mean, to enslave one man, but to enslave him and his offspring, that's ridiculous. And so obviously the truth of the story of the light is there, and so I have explained racism. It should not be in anybody's understanding. You should take it away if you understand the story of the truth of the light. I'm laughing because I know a secret. Oh, brothers and sisters. Well, I said if I'm going to tell you the truth for the whole truth, it must explain everything. And all the people who are black are like, what the frack was that? Was that the explanation? That's all he's going to say about black people? Why don't you tell us the truth? What is the truth? Black people have said, we're the best people. We're black, man. We got soul. So of course I'm going to tell you the story of the truth. But it will always be more amazing than anything you could tell. If I'm telling you the story of the truth, then I must tell you it how you understand it. And when I tell you the reality of the black man, then it must be something stranger and weirder than anything I have ever said before. And it must be something that is verifiable and knowable and provable by all the latest sciences and technologies. And it must be something that every person, when they hear it, they know it's true. Now, whether a white boy admits it, that's another story. All right, my niggas? But just listen to this story because you'll understand how I will be able to call you black as black for the rest of my life being a white boy, and you will understand the truth. We said that people should not understand racism the way they are. The fundamentals are the same. There's only one God, and He created Adam, and we've been telling the story of the truth from the beginning to the end. But here we are at the end of the tale, at this great society, America, where we have enslaved black people, and now that slavery is gone, it still mars us. The badges, as they say, of slavery are still there, because none of us have known the story of the truth that is being revealed to you. So if you are the darkest of dark-skinned people, then you must know the truth of all the other realities. Some basic scientific ones, that because you're dark on the outside means you're more royally pure on the inside. Now, the royal purity is such a strange thing, because when people say, oh, you're royally pure, well, you're genetically stronger and all the other things that people talk about. But anybody who's ever been with black people knows. And as I say, hey, to all those brothers and sisters in Clio with me, say, okay, come on, we know the truth. Black people have soul. Black people have soul, and everybody knows they have soul. If you didn't know that, why didn't you know that? They have soul. Of course they have soul. But what is it when we say that? Well, in our communication, I said, I'm going to tell you a story in a way that you've never heard it before. So we said that we are the sons of Adam, made with soul of the light. So when you see a person who's African American, you should know that one of the most amazing things is that they are of the soul. Well, of course they're of the soul. Well, all the sons of Adam are of the soul, and we maintain that. So what's so great about the black people then? Well, we said that in this story you must go back. That if we look to see that the genetic genes are more in line of our African ancestors, and we find that in the very beginning of the story, we said what? We said the Lord Most High created Adam, and from Adam he made Eve out of the rib, and then they were descended upon the earth, but they didn't meet together. They then joined near the area of Africa and met together on the place called the Mountain of Mercy. But Africa became the beginning of the civilization on this earth. Of course, anybody who has told you the roots and understands sciences knows this, but now I will give a gift to my African American brothers. See, we've gotten to a point where people here say, well, African American people, they're strange in some way. They all have this ability to rap and talk, and all they care about is music. Some of them are preacher men, some of them are rappers, some of them are all kinds of things. But the black people, And we have a strange situation in our society where so many black people are taken and put in jail and enslaved in our prison system. It's such a messed up story. So you want to know the story of the truth and why the beauty is there and why it is that people who call themselves black understand the issues of the soul, then I remind you from the very beginning that if it was that Adam and Eve, the great father and mother of all of our race, started in Africa, then they were of the darker skin, as all prophets of the light have told. And now the evidence is even more amazing. That all of the sons of Adam, everybody on earth, we all speak different languages. But if you go back and look through the histories, and even see the tribes in existence in Africa, as I said, my story must be able to be explained by our very own modern day sciences, that the very tribes in Africa at this point have the greatest ability for speech of different ways of using words. Now, when anybody talks about black people in Africa, and then, they make fun of them, they say the bada ding ding, ticking language. And I'm not making fun of black people, or even the ticking language. I'm saying that in those sounds is being shown to you that those people of the most earliest of tribes that stuck together have the most varied ability to speak the word. Listen to me, oh black people. If you've been listening to the story, then you understand that there is a system and pattern for everything. And that we said that everything should fit perfectly. And that God chose Adam to be the greatest of races. And that God taught Adam the words of all things. And we've trying to hint to you that part of the story. And now that we get to this next part, we said we mix strange things and common sense things. We know that God also created angels of the light, but we know he created the jinns. And we said just previously, when referring to music, that some of the jinns and other races communicate linguistically, by language. That should have been a sign for you if you were paying attention. And so here I get to the next point, that I say, in the story of truth that has never been revealed to you, I'll tell you what no one else has known. That Adam taught man and all of his sons all of the words, and we are descendants of Adam. And that which makes us superior to the other jinn and other races is that they use telepathy and other methods, and many of them do not speak the word. Some of them have learned to and are able to speak the word, but we speak the word. And so as people have taken black people and enslaved them as if they were animals and treated them like garbage, what they could never take away from African Americans, no matter how much they enslaved them, was their ability, the God-given ability as given to Adam, to be able to speak the word. And so that is why the African American people have always been telling stories of the tales. Know your roots and where you come from. You are the sons of Adam, and there is a reason. And kept telling the tales and songs and poetry and rhythms of soul. Oh, I said I'm going to explain to you everything. And so the reason and the blessing that all of the African American people know is that they are more closely connected because of their ability in their genetics to be black, are more closely tied to our Father than any other people, and because of that, they have greater ability to communicate. And that's how come we are always impressed with their ability to communicate. And it is a blessing that the black-skinned is able to speak what? Of all of the gifts that God gave mankind, the word. And that black men or women can gap, baby. They got the gift to gap. And so African American brothers and sisters know that the story of the truth is there, and everybody should know that we shouldn't think that one race is superior to another race, but by the very nature that the Africans in and of themselves are closer to the line of Adam is a sign that they are greater holders of the light, and that they are greater able to communicate it. But I said every part of the story is even stranger. And so here I'm going to give you another strange thing that you, who call yourselves black, already know. That I said that Adam was taught the names and the words of all things. But as time has been lost, people forget. But then I said that Adam and the sons of Adam are the most superior race. But I talked about just recently that the aliens use music as a form of communication. And isn't that weird and trippy? And so now I give you another strange part of the tale that you, who call yourselves African Americans or black, have already known, but never known why. That as many parts of civilization and society have lost knowledge and communication and language and the ability to make different sounds, the same thing is true with music. That music as a form of communication has been lost to the people. Some societies who have greater interaction with the other side know it. But of the sons of Adam, who are best able to communicate in the word and in music, are those who are closest in line to the genes and the blood of Adam. So that explains why African American people are both able to communicate beyond any other level and able to make music beyond the abilities of many other people. Of course, the truth of the light, when anybody expresses it, it's the truth in a story, and if God blesses somebody, he can have the blessing. Because sometimes it's just true. So it's not that, oh, black people are better because they can communicate better than all the sons of Adam or are more soulful than all the sons of Adam. It's never about that. Even a white boy can come and sometimes tell you the story. And if it is the truth of the light and it expresses the same fundamentals, then we know that it is of purity. Sometimes it's got to be like that. You know? You got to lose yourself in the moment and own it. You got to never let it go. You only get one shot, so do not miss your chance to blow, because opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Expressing the truth is always powerful, no matter how it is spoken, because the word is the word. Glad tidings to those who call themselves black people, my brothers and sisters. Peace and blessings of the true story of the light be upon you.